All right, shalom, shalom. Before we get started, we're going to face the east. Let's give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakudash. In Hebrew, let's give praises to our Almighty Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who is our Lord, Kakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. Honors to the brethren that's laboring doing the work to push the gospel, risking their life and freedom to do so. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, the 1/3 of our people who are the true Israelites, of the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians that sincerely returning back to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai during these final moments so that He will have mercy on us in judgment. So we back with another live lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some things that's been going on in the news. We done had more train derailments. I seen something where they spend like 30,000 gallons of propane. Let's see what's been going on. You're still having uproars. You're still having mass shootings. You got a bunch of laws and legislation that's going into effect. That's going, to bring about martial law. Like, I'm going to do a lesson on it, but they want to bring back, or Trump, he wants to bring he wants to bring group executions. They also want to bring back the firing squad. You had the one Edomite, he want to bring back hanging on trees as a form of execution. Let's see. You still got the war brewing up. I just seen that one of the European countries, I don't know if it's Germany or France, one of these European countries, they about to send some fighter jets over to Ukraine. America also agreed to send some fighter jets to Ukraine. Let's see what else. So the battle is not going to no longer be a battle that's fought on the ground. It's going to go airborne. And then that's when missiles get involved. So this war is really heating up. I can't think of any more immediate news that's been happening. It's been earthquakes. That's what continue to intensify. Everything that we see going on that I mentioned, that I didn't mention, is going to intensify. It's going to pick up. Because we in a time of troubles now, but we're coming into great troubles or great tribulation. So there's going to be greater miseries than we see now. But hey, we coming into we coming into the Passover tomorrow evening. So again, we coming into the Passover tomorrow evening. Then we're gonna have the feast of unleavened bread for that week. So Passover begins tomorrow at sundown. So Sunday evening, once the sun goes down, that's gonna start the Passover. So from Sunday evening to Monday evening is the actual Passover. I encourage all sincere believers to try their best to take part in it. Just a few pointers to go into before we get the lesson. So with the Passover, you could grill lamb over the fire. Don't boil it. It gotta be grilled over the fire. If you don't have a grill, you live in an apartment or whatever, it could bake it, roast it in the oven, and you can't eat any unleavened bread. As a matter of fact, I got a list. Let me see if I can even actually pronounce most of these words. So we can't eat any unleavened bread. So modern names for leaven from the Elder Sagalat that he sent to me. When you look on the back of the ingredients, a lot of things has leaven in it. So it might say leaven or baking powder, baking soda, yeast, cream of tartar, sodium bicarbonate, sodium pyrophosphate, sodium acid pyrophosphate, sodium aluminum phosphate. How you doing?
Okay, how you doing?
Oh, I'm making it. We the Israelites of the Bible.
Oh, well.
Okay, so we're going to continue. So I'll be reading these names for leaven. Sodium aluminum phosphate, calcium phosphate, vinegar, acidic acid, ammonium bicarbonate, calcium phosphate, primary calcium phosphate, ammonium hydrogen carbonate. So, different names for leaven because you're supposed to eat unleavened bread, which honored how we had to eat our food in haste. We couldn't make bread with leaven because the Lord was sneaking. The Lord was breaking us out of there. He was breaking us out of Egypt. So we had enough time just to roast the lamb or the fire and bake bread in the quickness. We didn't have time for it to rise, for it to settle, So you gotta actually remove all leaven out of our houses, to the best of your ability. So eat lamb roasted over a fire starting tomorrow. Then no unleavened bread for that week, and no leavening in your homes if you're able to. And then with the Passover, a lot of brothers gonna do a teaching. And you have a holy convocation, a ceremonial teaching, the first day and the seventh day, because the feast of unleavened breads lasts a week, and you also eat bitter herbs. You can Google search bitter herbs that you eat during the Passover. But to get in with the scriptures, we gonna let me leave that. We're gonna get these last call scriptures real quick, because what we have is another weekend of bringing out this truth, seeking the Lord. Oh, how you doing?
I'm blessed. How are you?
Oh, I'm making it. How the new year going for you?
It's going.
I'm gonna text you.
Okay.
All right, deal. Drive safe.
You too.
All right. So, yeah, we got another weekend, and this is actually an act of mercy. So we got another weekend to try to turn back to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So, hold on. How you doing?
All right. How are you?
Oh yeah, I'm making it. All right. So now we're gonna hit Amos. We're gonna hit chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. We coming into that famine. We know before the actual Passover in the book of Exodus in Egypt, they had 3 days of darkness. That 3 days of darkness is gonna hit America somehow. Rather, it's a solar event from the sun, EMP attack. Shalom to the big brother Amawan Yasha Allah. Shalom Malak. So we're gonna have a 3 days of darkness that come to America, or it might be an EMP attack, power grid failures, or it might be all of them at once. But however it happened, it's gonna lead to a famine of the word. So it's gonna really be a famine of everything. Actual bread that you need to eat, which is food, and actual this living bread. Let's continue. Shalom, Mark. We just getting these last call scriptures real quick. Famine of the word, Amos 8, 11, and 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea, from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. So wandering from sea to sea, that's concerning the internet. Because you got a phrase in the world called, I'm surfing the net. So you can surf the net, like you surfing the sea. And it says they shall run to and fro. They're not going to see us at our usual spots. And what else? Not going to be running. It says they shall run to and fro. That's also concerning the internet. Because, for example, YouTube, Google, Yahoo, Rumble, those are known as what? Search engines. An engine makes a car run. So the search engines, they run off the internet. And when you're trying to get to a certain destination or a certain web page, you have that wheel turning, showing that your destination or your web page is loading. So let's read that again. They shall wander from sea to sea, that's concerning the internet, and from the north even to the east, they shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord and shall not find it. Yeah, because his word is mainly sought out on the internet. We may come in contact to a certain number of people, but more people come in contact with us over the internet. So that's what his word is mainly sought out. And that's the reason there's going to be a blackout, something to make the internet not work. But now, We're gonna get into so now I'm just gonna do my read through of the New Testament. And again, we like to read through this to correct everything that the Christian church taught incorrectly, bring understanding what those things meant then and what it means for us now, and how we can benefit from those teachings. Because the things written aforetime was written for our learning, that through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Because the times that we coming into, Jacob showed the great tribulation. This ain't nothing new. Ecclesiastes 1:9 is nothing new under the sun. How y'all doing? Y'all know the Israelites? People of the Bible? You gotta turn back to the Lord now. America gonna be wiped out. All right, so yeah, Ecclesiastes 1:9, nothing new under the sun. So everything that we about to face in these times of trouble, we faced them previously. It's just everything gonna be at its height. Everything is gonna be on a bigger level in the spirit. So we about to move on from So we about to attempt to do the lesson that I did last week. I think the phone got hot, so I lost connection. So y'all know I've been on Mark 9:35 for a while. And he sat down and called the 12 and said unto them, if any man desire to be first, the same shall be last, and last of all, and servant of all. Because we know the Lord going to bring down the high tree, those who exalt themselves as an eagle, that's in the high habitation, that exalt themselves, they're going to be abased. But there's another reason that this nation of people, this high tree, Esau, Edom, is going to be brought down. Now we're going to hit Matthew 5:19 real quick. So whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach man so, he should be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. The same shall be called great. Let me read this over. Whosoever therefore shall break one of the least of these commandments and shall teach man so, he should be called least in the kingdom of heaven. That goes into the 2/3. They encourage and teach our people to continue in folly and wickedness. So the 2/3, they're going to be above all nations, but still at the bottom in the kingdom of heaven. How y'all doing?
All right, how you doing?
Man, all right, y'all know the Israelites?
Israelites?
People of the Bible?
Yes.
All right, so the Lord going to destroy America to free his people once again. So we got to turn back to him.
I heard that.
Look up Hebrew Israelites on YouTube.
Okay.
All right, bet. All right, so the 2/3, they're going to be at the bottom in the kingdom of heaven amongst the nation of Israel, because that's who the Lord is talking to. But the 2/3 still going to be above all the other nations. But it says, but whosoever shall teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. That's concerning the elect. We encouraging our people to come out of the world, turn back to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But when we go back up, whosoever therefore shall break one of the least of these commandments and teach man so, he should be called least in the kingdom of heaven. Now, that's not talking about, you could kind of say sort of talking about Esau, the so-called white man, because we know Esau gonna have a dramatic fall, because the Lord say, Obadiah say, Edom say, who can bring me down to the ground? So Esau gonna hit rock bottom. He's not gonna just fall to the number one. He's not gonna just fall to the second, third, or fourth spot. Esau gonna be brought low. But when we read, whosoever shall teach man to break the least of these commandments and teach others to do so, he should be called least in the kingdom of heaven. Well, Esau was a nation of people that pretty much as a whole forced us not to keep the commandments. He forced us not to keep the holy days and the Sabbath. He forced us out of our heritage. He forced us away from the Bible, going through the times of the book of Maccabees, which that was pretty much our first captivity where our people was forced to take on the ways of the heathen. Because either doing oh yeah. So to the big brother Amawan Yasha Allah, Luke 10 and 18. He sent it to them. I beheld Satan as lightning falling from heaven, and that's a great scripture because you go also to the book of Isaiah chapter 14. It says, "Thou Lucifer, how art thou cut down to the ground? How does a high tree fall? It's cut down." So this high tree, this nation of the white man Esau Edom, is going to be cut down to the ground, and anything that's cut down or that falls, it falls rapidly. You know, something in physics, they say when it falls, it accelerates as it falls. So it only falls faster and faster as it begins to fall. And that's what we see going on with America, such as they reaching a national debt ceiling, 32 trillion, upwards of the people, the infrastructure being broke up, resources being scarce. So yeah, we seeing Satan, the white man, fall from lightning as heaven, or fall from heaven as lightning. But and another reason that this man is falling, because what we just read 5:19, Matthew 5:19, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach man so, he should be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But we also just read, those who desire to be first shall be last of all and servant of all. Esau is losing his rulership. He's falling out of power because we know Daniel 2:21, the Lord removeth kings and set up kings. Esau is being removed from power, and we being raised up to be set up in power. Well, Esau still desires to be first. And how is he attempting to hold that position? Well, the nation of Israel, he got to keep us in sin and folly and wickedness. So Esau, he know the law, statutes, and commandments. He got the authority to enforce the law, statutes, and commandments, but he don't. So he purposely push out wickedness and folly, not only to keep the world in sin, but most importantly, to keep the nation of Israel in sin. Because as long as we in sin as a nation, the Lord will never turn back to us, or bring us out of this captivity and set us up. But all our people not gonna return back to the Lord, only the 1/3, which I think that's Galatians 6:16. It speaks of the Israel of the Most High. So us coming out of captivity, being brought out of this current situation, that begins with the elect. But Esau was that first captivity, again, that forced us to conform to the ways of the heathen, which we're going to get ready to get that in the book of First Maccabees. Oh man, yeah, they struck the brother Amawan Yasha Alab, said the backup channel. Dang, that's crazy. See, Esau doing that. Brother can't even post anything, but don't even have a strike. I know they was doing that to the brother Hope. He couldn't share nothing. It's weird. Esau something. He's something. Yeah, Esau something. And then, because we know, I think it's Matthew 19:30. It says the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Well, Esau forced the whole world into wickedness. So he's going to be last in the kingdom of heaven because he was the nation of people who taught everybody on earth to go against the Bible, to do the opposite of what the Bible tells you. And not only that, he covered up the faces of the judges. He tried to X out the legacy of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah by changing the color of their faces, changing their names, making the Bible be about everybody. So Esau gonna be the first that go in the last place, and he's gonna be last of all and servant of all, for ruling the world in wickedness. And what we just read was written in the New Testament, which happened after the time of the Greeks, it was the Greeks that forced us to conform to the way of the heathen. So we're going to read that again, then we're going to jump into the book of Maccabees. going to read this again and go to Maccabees. So, Matthew 5:19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach man so, he should be called in the least in the kingdom of heaven. And that concerns Esau too, because he taught the whole world to break the commandments, so he going to be in the bottom in the kingdom of heaven. Man, that's crazy. Man, that's crazy. And that's Esau. There's another thing that the brother Yatazar War, him and the brother he was with, they was teaching. And it's something, I forgot what it's called. I had screen recorded it, but pretty much they're going to try to go in on us because how we going to Esau. It was something along the lines of cyber bullying and cyber attacking, you know, when we getting on this devil. Doing all right? Oh yeah, we Israelites. You most likely
You can leave it in the car until y'all get ready.
the Lord shows the people.
You can leave it in my car.
What?
God shows the people.
That's on the people?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So we would be the Israelites, the people of the Bible. Negroes, Hispanics, Mexicans, Native Americans.
Yeah.
We would be the people of the Bible.
Va.
Espanol?
Yeah.
Okay, poquito. It's a,
O español, yo 100%.
yeah.
Todo. Español.
Dang, I wish I could speak more Spanish.
Quiere aprender, aprende todo. Que no.
Oh yeah?
Yes, go.
Damn. It's actually,
¿Me entiendes?
yeah.
¿Sí me entiendes o no?
You see that? The microchip?
Yeah.
Can't get it.
Yo.
That would be the mark of the beast in the yup. Right here.
Yeah.
See that? No bueno.
No bueno.
Nuh-uh. There's you get that? This is gonna happen.
Día, oración.
Yeah, so whoever get that microchip in their hand, they gonna take part in this nuclear destruction. Lord willing, you know, the illustrations will help put it together, but yeah. You know, let me see. These, me and you. That's us during the ancient times. Joseph, King David, Moses. You know, God. I don't know what God in Spanish is.
Yeah. No, nothing.
Yeah.
Yo, me? No, nothing.
Oh, okay. No God, no nothing.
No, yo no, hey. Yo, for me, yo, nothing, nunca en mi vida.
Okay.
Nunca en mi vida, nunca. Y a mí, let me see, sí. Sí es. Yeah. Sí es. Ella.
Shit, all right now, though.
Ella, maybe for me Mexican. Yo, conocí. Si él quiere mentiras, yo he hecho mentiras. ¿Ves? ¿Ok?
Oh, yeah.
Las cosas como son, a mí no me gusta. Yo nunca he hecho mentiras. ¿Me entiendes? ¿Me entiendes? ¿Eh?
Ah, man, I wish I could understand, yeah.
Yo.
This. Nope.
Ella no, yo sí.
Oh, okay.
Yo toda mi fe, toda mi siempre soy mi fe en Cristo. Cristo. Está bien, puro diablo. Diablo.
This, Diablo.
Diablo.
This is, these.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get back to reading. I'm gonna get back to it.
Where y'all at?
All right. So all right now. Oh no, I'm reading. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So now
Yeah, man. Yeah, caga el palo. A un novio somos esposa, una que ya calla. What the fuck? Fuck you.
dang.
Estoy jugando.
Yeah.
¿Somos o no somos?
All right, but I'm gonna get back to reading. My bad. I'm gonna,
Todo, man.
all right, so now we gonna get into the point why the Lord said, "Whoever shall break the least of these commandments and teach man to do so, they're gonna be called least in the kingdom of heaven." So we gonna get into Esau Edom, the man who taught not only the world but taught all of us to break the law, statutes, and commandments. So we at the book of First Maccabees. We're gonna start at chapter 1. We're gonna start at verse 1. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. So yeah, we just read that King Antiochus, which was the king of the Greeks, he wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. That lines up with the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5. So we're gonna read this again, the Maccabees, then we're gonna come back to the book of Habakkuk. Let me pull that up real quick. How you doing? All right, so again, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. So what was King Antiochus doing? He was heaping all people unto himself. So at that time, he was only writing to his whole kingdom. So Esau, through the spirit, trying to do the same thing. Not to just the people in his kingdom, but all people. That's why Habakkuk 2 and 5 reads, yeah, also, because he transgresseth by wine, which would be his philosophies, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. To the brother, Hope, Grace, and Mercy, Shalom. Me and Hope gonna be back out there tomorrow. So yeah, it says he is as death, cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And what is that going into? That's going to the New World Order, because it's not going to be individuals, different governments. Esau want to heap all nations, he want to gather all people under his New World Order. So when we go back to the book of First Maccabees 1 and 41, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. So Esau, through the spirit, through the New World Order, he's gonna gather not just the people in his kingdom, America, Europe, but he's gonna try to gather all nations and heap unto himself all people, that all people should be one people under his rule. And from this point on, we're gonna go to the book of Revelation. We're gonna show how Esau gonna attempt to do that. And pretty much it's gonna be by the microchip. Because when we read Revelation 13 and 16, that's him gathering all people unto himself, keeping together all nations. So Revelation 13 and 16, any cause of all. See that? So we just read Maccabees 1 and 41, that King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom. Well, Esau gonna do that again. He not gonna write letters and send them to Africa, but it's gonna be a worldwide mandate. So let's finish this. Any cause of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So he's gonna cause all people, no matter if you a third world, second world country, or one of the top nations. He's gonna cause everybody to get this microchip, which is the mark. And that's how he's gonna gather to himself all people, and heap unto himself all nations. So just like King Antiochus was doing back in the day, Esau is doing that same thing in the spirit, just on a bigger level. So let's continue with the book of First Maccabees. I'm gonna read 41 to go to the next verse. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. So what the king wrote is that all nations of people should leave their laws and what? Take on the laws of King Antiochus, which should be the Greeks. Let's read that again. And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. So all the heathen nations, they agreed. Yeah, we'll take on the ways of the Greeks. We'll leave our laws. Well, that's what we're coming into with the New World Order. Because, how you doing?
All right, pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Oh, yeah, I'm making it. So with the New World Order, we know they got like a red, yellow, and a blue list. You know, red list is people that's against the New World Order. I think the people on the blue list is people who could be a threat to the New World Order, but they could be re-educated. And I think like the yellow list would be like people who know nothing about it, so they can be easily re-educated. And I think the black list might have been like kill on sight, something like that. So pretty much, we come into this New World Order, you know, especially beginning with the microchip, Esau gonna want all people of the earth to abandon their laws, to abandon their heritage. Because Esau gonna give you a whole new set of laws under this New World Order. And most of the people are gonna agree, you know, because they don't got no ancient text that's not commanding them to do so. You know, you're gonna have other nations of people that mainly agree, but a lot of them, they kind of see what the white man is doing, so now they speaking out against it. But we just read that the heathen nations agreed, but it wasn't the heathen nations that Antiochus was trying to get to leave their laws, statutes, and commandments. My bad, I done lost the page. So we're gonna go to the next. We're gonna read that again to go to the next verse. And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Now we're gonna go to Hosea 4:6 real quick. We're gonna show you what the Lord prophesied of. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, I will also forget thy children. So the Lord said that we will forget these laws. They're going to Jeremiah. Pretty much the Lord said, thou will discontinue from thy heritage. Now, what we read in the book of Maccabees, this is showing how we discontinue from our heritage. Hey, Khan, the brother Hope, Grace, and Mercy say, hey, when we get them powers, Esau on the blacklist. Yeah, Esau is going to be killed on sight when we come back down in pure power. So the Lord said that we will discontinue from our heritage. In the book of Maccabees, we reading how we discontinue from it. Because again, this was the first captivity where we was forced to conform to the ways of the heathen. And this New World Order is nothing different. We're going to be forced to conform to Esau's new form of government, which is a one world government. You know, that's why he's going to gather unto himself all people and all nations. No more different governments, different presidents. The white man want to rule over everybody and everything. And this is the beginning of it during the times of the Greeks. It started during the time of the Greeks. They're going to attempt to finish it here in America through this beast system. So we're going to start from the top and go down. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom. Now Esau's going to force everybody on the planet that all should be one people. That's the New World Order. And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. So we had a bunch of our people that agreed to the religion of King Antiochus, which would pretty much be the 2/3 today. These are going to be the people that follow right along with Esau into their New World Order, you know, which is going to be cemented by implanting that RFID microchip inside of the people. So our people was what? They was joined to the so-called white man. We're gonna show what the scriptures say about that. Book of Isaiah, I think the 13th chapter. So we're gonna read that again to come back to this. All right, verse 43, a book of First Maccabees 1:1. Yet many of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificing to idols and profaned the Sabbath. So that's why when we come to Isaiah 13-15, it reads, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So this is if you joined into Esau in the spirit by his doctrines, his philosophies, if you could pretty much consent to his ways. If you bow down, stick your arm out or stick your hand out and get pierced, that's you being joined under Esau. So let's continue now to verse 44. For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they shall follow strange laws of the land. And the white man is doing that today. Like when they came with that hot sauce, he was sending so-called black leaders, religious leaders, the spokesmen of our people. They were sending them to so-called black and Hispanic communities. Like, hey, we urge y'all to take this hot sauce first. Same thing with the microchip. They gonna send in messengers, which will probably be our own people, to encourage us to get the microchip. To encourage us to follow the where the white man is taking us with his new world order. So we're gonna read that again to continue. For the king has sent letters by messengers into Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land. Yeah, because our people, all the heathen agreed. It was just Judah that didn't agree. And then let's read that again, the last part. That they should follow the strange laws of the land. So this new world order is going to be a bunch of strange laws. Another word for strange in the Blue Letter Bible, I think, is unfamiliar. So coming into this new world order, there's going to be a bunch of new strange things that we unfamiliar with. Like the first strange law, Revelation 13-16. He calls all, both small, great, rich, and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or forehead. That's going to be mandated. That's going to be a strange law. Because Esau is known for doing that. Because the scripture says we'll be taken captive by a strange nation, that our fathers have not known. And they will force these strange laws upon us. And what's some of these other strange laws? That no man can buy or sell unless he had a mark, the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you can't take part in society unless you stick your arm and stick your hand out and get chipped. That you gotta put a piece of technology inside of your body. That's a strange law. There's never been nothing that's been done like that before. Now, other captivities, they will brand the name of their oppressors on their servants, and this microchip is just another way of branding the people. And even besides the microchip, you got Esau that's taking what? He taking these athletes, these entertainers, these rappers, people that got some kind of a voice and some kind of influence, and Esau sending them to our people to follow the strange laws. Let's read that again. Yeah, let's go down. For the king has sent letters by messengers to Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land. So Esau will take Tyler Perry or some other sodomite in the music or the movie industry and send them to our people, for our people to honor, to encourage LGBTQ. That's what Esau sending letters or sending messengers to Jerusalem to take on the strange laws of LGBTQ, being a tranny, pedophilia, So that stuff is going on now. So let's continue. And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, that they should profane the Sabbaths and feast days. So Esau told our people, no more burnt offerings, no more sacrifices, no more honoring the Sabbaths or the feast days. Because remember going up to verse, 42? And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Well, that's going on now. These good alms, making sacrifices in the spirit for the Lord, that's the same as us doing sacrifices back then. We're not burning lambs and goats, but we putting off the ways of the world. So Esau trying to stop us from doing these good alms once again. Let's continue. And pollute the sanctuary and the people. So King Antiochus wanted to pollute the sanctuary and pollute the people. Let's continue. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. Yep, so they set up idols all throughout the temple. And we got idols all throughout the temple today. We're talking about amongst the people. These rappers, these entertainers, they nothing but idols that's set up amongst our people. And then it says set up groves and chapels of idols. And when these microchipping stations, they're gonna be groves and altars that's set up amongst our people as well. Every corner, you're gonna see chipping stations. That's no different than an idol or an altar being set up on the corner. Because 2nd Ezra was it 16:68? Behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. So when you stick your arm out and get chips, that's idol worship. Because that's why it says feed you things offered unto idols. Because they got a term in the medical field called intravenous feeding. Pretty much, you could feed something into the body by forcing it through a needle. Like people that can't drink or swallow. People that can't eat or drink. How y'all doing? Oh, I'm making it. They could pretty much force something into the body through a needle with an IV attached. So at these different chipping stations, that's what they're going to feed into the bodies of the people. Let's continue. Read that again to continue. And set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they shall also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all matter of uncleanness and profanation. So Esau, he polluted the temple, idols, altars for these false gods, sacrificing swine's flesh, throwing pig's blood over the altar. That polluted the temple. But the temple is no more. But we, the spiritual temple, we've been polluted by what? Discontinuing from our heritage, lacking his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which the Lord told us we will forget. And then what? Taking on all kind of abominations and filth that's pushed by the so-called white man. Because remember, going up a verse or two, let's get it. First Maccabees 1:46, and pollute the sanctuary and the holy people. Well, the sanctuary been polluted, been tore down, but now the people are polluted. And let's continue. Let's go up and continue. And pollute the sanctuary and the holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all matter of uncleanness and profanation. Let's continue. To the end, they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. Yeah, ultimately, King Antiochus writing letters, sending messengers to Jerusalem, is so that the people will what? Forget the law. And that's what we did in America. And how did he send those letters and messengers? Through the Spirit. He will take our people, people who got a platform, who got a voice, who got influence, he will set them up on an elevated platform to be spokesmen to our people, to encourage our people to follow in the manner of the heathen on how to make it big in this world. And usually how you make it big in this world, you got to do some kind of filthiness. Because it's the saying I heard from another brother that for every fortune that's made, a crime is committed. So for our people to make it big in this kingdom, they got to take on the things that Esau do. Because Isaiah 13:15, and everyone that is joined to them, who joins under Esau by his philosophies, by his doctrines, by taking part in the crimes that he partake in. That's why Revelation 18:14 it says, "Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins." Because if you partakers of her sins, you're going to share in her plagues, which would be the judgments, the destruction that come to this place. So our people sin with Esau, they're going to be destroyed with Esau. Pretty much they doing business with the great whore. So when we come back to the book of Matthew 5:19, oh man, when we come back to the book of Matthew 5:19, and we see, oh dang, I did leave that. 20 more seconds. Matthew 5. That whosoever therefore shall break one of these commandments and shall teach man so, who should be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. Well, going back to the book of First Maccabees, we read that what? First Maccabees 1:43. Many also the Israelites consented to his religion. So many of those Israelites consented to the mandates of King Antiochus. And those Israelites that consented to his religion, they what? They broke the least of the commandments and they taught other men to do so. Because, you know, that first generation under King Antiochus, you know, the elders, the parents, they consented to the religion and then they taught it to their children. And then their children taught it to their children. So generation after generation, you had people that was following the laws, the religion of Antiochus. So that's why the scriptures say, whoever shall break the least of these commandments and teach man to do so, they should be called least in the kingdom of heaven. So the people that consented to his religion back then, they was the same non-believers and rebellious people during the times of the New Testament. And they the same rebellious, disobeying people now, the 2/3. That's what? That's continuing in their wickedness, pushing it on to their children. They're not teaching their children the law, statutes, and commandments. What did it say after that? But those who keep the commandments and teach men to do so shall be called greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So the 1/3, you know, that's teaching this word or just living by it ourselves, we will be great in the kingdom of heaven. But during the time of King Antiochus, the people who consented to his strange laws that taught it to their children, you know, why did they consent to those laws in the first place? Why did they teach it to their children in the first place? Well, they was forced to by King Antiochus, which is what we're going to get into now. So again, First Maccabees 1:49. Matter of fact, let's go to verse 46 and read it through again. And pollute the sanctuary and the holy people. We already polluted as a people. We destroyed for a lack of knowledge. All right, set up altars, groves, and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, all in the temple, that they shall also lead their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all matter of uncleanness and profanation, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. So during King Antiochus, his goal was for the Jews, the Israelites, to forget their laws, to completely discontinue from their heritage. And that's the same thing with this New World Order. That's why there is a FEMA red, black, and blue list. So anybody that's in this truth, even if you lukewarm, got 1 foot in and 1 foot out, you on Esau's kill on sight list. because he know that most likely we not going to abandon this word, that we not going to take on their strange laws going into their new world order, that we not going to consent to anything they say. So how is Esau going to handle that? Let's continue. So first Maccabees chapter 1 verse 50, and whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. So King Antiochus, an Edomite, the king of the Greeks, said, if anybody don't consent to my laws, anybody don't consent to my strange lands or to my strange laws, he shall die. Now, we can also, and how does that line up with, I think, Revelation 20:4? Yup. So let's read this. Let's read Maccabees 1:50 again, then go to Revelation 20:4. So Maccabees 1:50. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he shall die. Esau about to do this again. So Revelation 20:4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Yahushua Mashiach 1,000 years. So the people who don't get the mark, worship the beast, or worship the image of the beast, they gonna what? Be beheaded. That's why I got a short, I forgot, but they got so many thousands of guillotines. They got so many thousands of guillotines. And that I mentioned at the beginning of the lesson, they trying to bring back a way of execution by being hanged by a tree. So they trying to lynch us once again. Nothing new under the sun. How you doing?
We just started
We Israelites, we gotta turn back.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm
so
good.
are you at the party here?
No ma'am, I'm just
I need you to step on the other side because
Okay.
we're gonna need the trash can and they're gonna be moving
trash
stuff out.
can. Okay.
So we have to open that. So you have to move on the other side.
Alright, that's
Yeah.
I'll do that.
6.
Now I'm showing our people, we Israelites, the people of the Bible. You know, we not African American and Negroes. None of those terms are in the Bible. But we would be the Israelites, the Lord's chosen people. And pretty much, you know how the Lord broke his people out of Egypt? He gonna break us out of America. That's why he got the pyramid on the back of the dollar. America is Egypt all over again. Because we know Ecclesiastes is nothing new under the sun. So just like he brought down Egypt, he gonna bring down America. That's why we seeing all this stuff going on. So we gotta come out of America, turn back to the Lord. Because anybody who don't turn back, they're gonna be destroyed with America. America gonna be destroyed by fire, by nuclear missiles. And
I have to come back out here and talk to you when my rental is over. But yeah, how long you gonna be out here?
probably like 10 more minutes. But I'm about to give you I should have cars on my YouTube channel on them. I think I did them all.
I love my country, and I love my black people too. So I don't know. I just want to talk to you about it.
Yeah, no, you have YouTube app on your phone?
Yeah,
How about I just give you my number? We can talk about the
Okay.
scriptures over the phone.
it's 940
Yes, ma'am.
442
442.
3457, and I'm Dina.
Okay, I'ma text you my name, Chris.
Okay.
It's gonna be a 989 number.
Okay, Chris.
We gonna chop it up over the scriptures
All right.
because we can't let our love for the things of the earth pretty much take control of our mind.
Well, no, but I just know in the Bible when you say you're supposed to be down with your country too.
We talk about it.
Yeah. All right.
All right, deal.
Yeah, all right. Nice to meet you, Chris.
All right, nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the other side.
Okay. I wouldn't have said nothing, but my supervisor told me I had to tell you.
Oh, it's all right.
Right by the trash can.
Oh yeah, I understand. Yeah, I know I'm blocking it. But see that's why we out here. She say she think that the Bible say you're supposed to be down with your country and down with your oppressors. But that's why the scriptures say our people trust in oppression and the perverseness. And that's why we out here. Because she was listening, it made sense to her. But, you know, Lord willing, we could chop it up over the phone about the scriptures. And we just read how King Antiochus forced our people to conform to the ways of the heathen. And that anybody that didn't conform, that they would die. And what we see, what that woman said, that's a result of King Antiochus once again. Because after so many generations, the land of our captivity, the laws of our oppressors, that's all they know. All right, so we're going to hop back to the book of First Maccabees. Let's continue. We're going to read 50 again and go down. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. And we just read how anybody who don't take the mark, worship the beast or the image of the beast, that they're going to be beheaded or hanged on the tree. And that's going to be their preferred choice of execution because they can still use our organs and take our blood and plasma. Let's continue. In the self-same manner wrote he to his whole kingdom and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. So yeah, they're going to set up their military police, chief captains of their military over our people, and force us to sacrifice. And we to sacrifice, and we sacrifice ourselves by sticking our hand out, getting that chip, sticking our arm out, and get that hot sauce. So once again, all the Judah gonna be forced to sacrifice, and that's what sacrifice themselves to this beast system, hand themselves over to Esau's digital takeover. Let's continue. Then many of the people were gathered unto them. Yeah, many people were gathered. So yeah, many people were gathered unto them. And we just read that just a minute ago in the book of Habakkuk. Let me go back to that real quick. All right, Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Who largeth his desire as hell, and is as death. It cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, even unto him all people. So Esau, they like to gather all nations, all people into themselves under this new world order that happened way back then. Let's read this again. First Maccabees 1 and 52. That many of the people were gathered unto them. Well, during the time of the Greeks, Esau gathered many people. But in the perfection of their new world order, they would gather all people. That's why Revelation 13 and 16, and he causeth all, both small, great, rich, poor, free, and bond, to receive that mark. Esau about to do a digital takeover of the earth, everybody, and all the resources. Let's continue.
Yeah, I got you.
Then many people were gathered unto them, to wit, everyone that forsook the law, and so they commanded evils in the land. So yeah, the people forsook the law, and there was many evils in the land. Now that goes past this rape, rob, and murdering. Those are evils that are committed, but pretty much forsaking the law, that's an act of evil. Profaning the Sabbath, not keeping it holy, that's an act of evil. Not keeping the holy days, that's an evil act. So it ain't just limited to rape, rob, and murdering. Forsaking even one commandment, eating swine's flesh, that's an act of evil. Let's read that again. that many of the people were gathering to them, to wit, everyone that forsook the law. So everybody that forsook the law, those would be those who were gathered. Esau wants everybody to forsake the law so he can gather all people instead of many. And so they committed evils in the land. And the evils was pretty much not doing as the scriptures have said. And drove Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor, for help. Yeah, so the Israelites, they fled into secret places. You know, they had to flee from the face of the serpent. And that's why we will have to flee to the wilderness, be as pilgrims upon the earth. When they persecute us in one city, flee into the next city. You know, because the scriptures say we won't go through over all the cities until the Lord returns. Then we know Revelation 12 that the woman grew wings of the eagle, that she may be nourished in the wilderness in her place from the face of the serpent. But this was just going over what we read, Matthew 19 and 35, that he that desired to be first shall be last of all and servant of all. So Esau, desperate attempt to stay in first place, to stay in rulership, he's going to teach the world, and especially the Israelites, to break the law, statutes, and commandments to stay in place. Because the scriptures say, as long as we stay in sin, Esau can kill us without offense. So us staying in sin, that's pushed by Esau, that's one of his ways to stay in power. Him keeping us in sin, that's showing his desire to stay in first place. That's why Esau hates when we turn back to righteousness. Because as soon as we turn back to righteousness, we are a threat to his empire. Because 2nd Ezra, 6 and 9, for Esau is the end of the world, but Jacob is the beginning of it, that followeth after. Yeah, because when Esau was born, Jacob came and did what? He pulled Esau by the heel. So Esau know that eventually Jacob, the nation of Israel, would eventually pull them down. So that's why we got to stay under sin, so that we would never turn to the Lord, and the Lord would never turn back to us, bring us out of this captivity, and give us his power. So Matthew 9 and 35, he that desired to be first shall be last of all and servant of all. You know, Esau failed. The election has already obtained it. So we turn back to the Lord. We got this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So Esau already failed. We already putting them down by the heel. But through this new world order, Esau gonna try to exterminate us. And those who do remain of our people, they're gonna have to consent to these strange laws of the new world order. Like handing their bodies over as a living sacrifice to this digital system, getting all kinds of technology implanted inside of their body so they can be tracked, traced, and monitored at all times. So that's why this last verse here, and drove the Israelites into secret places. So the Israelites was fleeing to the wilderness, fleeing to the mountains from the face of the serpent. We're going to do that again with the crash of the dollar, the blackout. When the microchip be mandated, we going to flee. And that's where the Lord going to help us. But we, and then again, Matthew 5 and 19. Matthew 5 and 19, where we just read how King Antiochus made our people profane the temple and pollute the holy people, that we should follow the strange laws of the land. That's why Matthew 5 and 19 reads, whosoever therefore shall break one of the least of these commandments and shall teach man so, he should be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. Because again, many of our people who are the Israelites, they consented to the ways of King Antiochus and taught it to their children during the following generations. But why did our people break away from the law and break away from their heritage to deal with? Because of King Antiochus, which is the Edomite, that whosoever did not obey the law of the king will be put to death. Yeah, so our people broke the commandments. Our people taught their children and taught others to break the commandments. But who was behind that all? Esau, the so-called white man. No different today. the 2/3 that's encouraging our people and wickedness and folliness, you know, bunch of BS. You know, yeah, our people, they pushing it, but who's encouraging them to push it? Esau, the so-called white man. That's why the scriptures say, whosoever shall, it speaks about passing your brother to drink and causing him to sin. That's how you give somebody a shot of liquor, a few shots, and you cause them to do something, and you tell on them, like, look what they doing. That's what Esau's done. You know, he took our people and blessed them. You know, they get paid a lot of money to continue in wickedness, to be examples for our people. So yeah, our people even today, they break the laws and commandments and teach our people to do so, but it's Esau that's behind that. Esau is the driving force of wickedness. That's why Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So if the wicked ain't Esau, who the heck is the wicked? But yeah, that's why those who break the commandments and teach men to do so, they're going to be least in the kingdom of heaven. You know, our people that forsook the law and never turned back to the Lord, but ultimately Esau was the reason that our people forsook the law. So Esau going to be rock bottom in the kingdom of heaven. He's going to be the basis of men once again. So, forgive me, allergies acting up. So we're going to face the east and close out. Call Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Kakadash. All right, till next time, Shalom. Me and the brother Hope out tomorrow.